Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel this week. I am really excited about this video. This is the final video in our Saul to Paul series where we look at the Apostle Paul and his transition from the Pharisee into the apostle that we know today and we read about in the Bible. And last week we finished up. Paul had received his sight back. Ananias went and prayed for him, just like Saul or Paul had seen in his dream. And now we're going to pick up from there and see what happened after he met Jesus on the Damascus road. So after he received his sight, it says in the very next verse, this is after he had regained his strength, it said, "Now for several days he was with the disciples who were in Damascus, and immediately began to proclaim Jesus in the synagogue, saying, 'He is the Son of God.' And all of those hearing him continued to be amazed, and they were saying, 'Is this not the one who in Jerusalem destroyed those who called on his name, or on this name, and had come here for the purpose of bringing them bound before the chief priests?'" So you got to remember, Saul, his whole intent was to go to Damascus and throw these Christians into prison, and that if he had the opportunity, he was going to cast his vote that they would be put to death. But instead, what happened? He met Jesus on the road to Damascus, and now this man who was persecuting Jesus, who was persecuting the Christians and trying to drive them out and kill them, is proclaiming the name of Christ in the same place that he was going to go try to cause chaos amongst the believers. And not only that, but it says he was in the synagogues, not just a synagogue, but synagogues. He went to several of them, and this was in the same city where he was going to go have Christians enslaved, or not enslaved, but imprisoned. And he's proclaiming that Jesus is the Son of God. Now, this right here is one of my favorite stories in the Bible. And we say story, but when we say story, we don't mean story in the way of fairy tale. This really happened. The reason is because if you were looking, if somebody asks you, what is your reason for believing in Jesus? What is your reason for believing that the Bible is true and that you can really trust what these people wrote down and the things that they did? This is one of the things that I point people to. Obviously we have our faith, and there may be many, the Bible has so many things in it, so much evidence in it for us to be able to point two things to say, hey, listen, this is where the Bible is true. It's accurate. It's historically proven. This right here, you have a man who was well-learned. He was respected. He was a leader. He had power. He went in and said, hey, give me papers to be able to go to Damascus. I'm going to take some people. We're going to go down there and we're going to throw some Christians into prison. He had influence. And he hated Christians. He believed that they were wrong. But something happened on the road to Damascus. Something happened that completely changed and shifted everything that he knew, everything inside of him that was screaming that, oh no, these Christians are horrible and they're blasphemers and they are really going against the true God. He had a great revelation that day when he saw Jesus on the Damascus road, and he gave his life up. He forfeited his life. He forfeited his rank, and immediately just threw it down and said, hey, he had such a radical experience that he immediately just said, you know what? I don't care about any of this. These people are right. These Christians are right. Jesus Christ is the Messiah. Jesus Christ is the Son of God. And I'm going to preach it from the rooftops. And we won't get into it today because there's way too much to go and look at everything that Paul did. There's way too much for us to look at. But man, How reassuring is this? That a man that was imprisoning, agreeing with murdering, hunting down Christians, that Jesus still came, reached out his hand to him, say, hey, I've got something different for you. I've got something better for you. He said, okay, Lord, I'm going to do it. And he did with his actions. It's incredible. So be encouraged today that if you feel too far gone, too far away from God, that there is nothing that the power of his blood cannot overcome. This is great sin that Saul committed. But yet, not only was he saved, but he also became a tool for God to be used in the kingdom for so much good. I really hope that you have enjoyed the series. I hope that this video has blessed you. If you could, please hit the subscribe for my folks that are watching on Facebook. I appreciate you guys liking on Facebook and supporting me that way. Just one thing that I was made aware of is that there is some confusion, and you can like it on Facebook, and that's great, and that'll get it around on Facebook. But as far as YouTube goes, you do have to actually like the video on YouTube for that to be able to expand and hopefully reach other people on YouTube. So that is it for the Paul to Saul, or the Saul to Paul series. Next week, I may potentially be taking a break next week. We'll see. It just depends. Work is extremely busy right now, and I don't want to rush anything out that is not going to be content that is worth your time, and I certainly don't want to rush the Word of God and put something out there that is half baked. So if I'm able and I have the time, then we'll do a video next week. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and God bless.